Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, and I've got some good news to tell you. We finally had a winner, a Volpun Gelois, who is an old favourite horse of mine, used to be with Paul Nicholls and Chris Gordon. I knew him well. I remember when he won the charity race at Wincanton a few years ago. He went and won tonight at Leon Perilli at 10 to 1 in the end. So if you're on the 10 to 1 each way, as was recommended in my next best, then happy days. But away from that, it was a bit frustrating, but at least we had a nice price winner. Our Nap Smart Lady, the money came for her. She was 10 to 1 advertised last night, and then she went off co-favourite at 9 to 2, and I was thinking that we were going to be on a nice winner there, but unfortunately a bit of a peculiar ride, had a lot left to do, came with what looked like to win and run at one point, but just couldn't get the job done, but nonetheless still ran okay. And then Robble, less said about that the better, was never in the race at all, hated it from the get-go, but yeah, it's been quite frustrating recently. Black Comedy was another gamble that looked like we were going to be on yesterday, 9 to 1 into 2 to 1, and then obviously never got the breaks and never got involved. He could only finish third. But yeah, it's been a really frustrating time, but hopefully we're through that patch now and we're going to get a few more winners going forward. So we're all going to be starting on the jumps card at Dieppe tomorrow. If you don't know where Dieppe is in France, it's on the north coast. You can get a ferry there. You can across the channel. So if you've been through there, I'm not sure if you would have gone to the racecourse, but you might have gone to the ferry terminal there. You can get a ferry from a place called Newham. I think it's in Sussex, Kent area, so that's where you go there. But anyway, enough of me waffling on about that. In the 10:30 tomorrow for our opening tip, this is going to be our next best, and I'm going with a horse called Sacre, Coeur. This horse is 4 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, and I'm just going to recommend a win-only bet here, trained by Francois Nicole, who's been the man to follow on the jump scene in France since the resumption of racing. His horses are running very well. They've got a really great fitness edge over them, and Francois Nicole's main training rival, a bit like a Willie Mullins, Gordon Elliott, Henderson Nichols kind of thing, is Gilliam Macaire. And Gilliam Macaire's horses have been running well below par. And even though he's got the favourite in that race tomorrow, I think you've got to be taking him on with this horse. Now, Angelo Zulani, who rides quite a lot for Francois Nicole, is booked for the ride. And this horse has already got a reappearance run under his belt and has got some chase experience when he finished 4th at Toulouse a couple of weeks ago. Now, that wasn't a bad performance, and if you go back and watch the replay, it looks like he's going to fade away at one point, but he battled on, and he had a chance nearly at one point to win the race. So I think he will come forward for that run, and it's interesting they keep him, they're keeping him going only just a week later. So I think Sacre Coeur at 4 to 1 tomorrow holds the value. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this maybe went off about 5 to 2, 9 to 4. I could see the money coming for it, but Francois Nicole, he's operating at a 30% strike rate, and I think this horse is the one you've got to be on tomorrow. We then go with our Nap, which stays at Dieppe in the 11:30 for the exact same combination of Angelo Zulani and Francois Nicole. Now, this horse is in the same colours of Sears Class, which was a lovely filly for William Haggis. Unfortunately, we never quite got to see what she could go on to achieve. But yeah, born to hold. He's 7 to 4 favourite with bookmakers, 2 from 2 so far, and he's been progressing really nicely over his hurdles. Now, he's stepping up in grade to a listed contest, but he won last time a juvenile hurdle by 11 lengths, and the further he went, the better he got. His jumping was getting a lot better, and I think now he's in a good place, and I think it says a lot that Angelo Zulani, who is one of the main guys that rides for Francois Nicole, has chosen him. And I think even though he is at a price of 7 to 4, I could see him maybe going off potentially even money if there's support for him tomorrow. We then go with our Longshot, Loaders Longshot, at Vichy on the flat card there, in the 158, a stay-in race, and I'm going with a horse called Grand Art here, who's around about 10 to 1 with bookmakers, and I think it's cracking each way bet. There's currently 8 runners, so you can get the 3 places, and Joseph Dubois and Pierre-Charles Boudot is booked for the ride. Now, they combined today with quite a few winners at Deauville. They had some good success, and Grand Art, I thought, had a good chance. Now, last time we saw him, he ran in a fairly good stakes race, and the winner of that race came out and won today at Deauville, won the listed race, and that was a really nice performance. So the form has already started to work out quite well there, and the favourite is Soft Light, who finished 6th in the Arc with Jean-Claude Rouget. Now, we already saw that Sotsas who finished 4th in the Arc, needed the run, and a lot of Jean-Claude Rouget's horses have needed the run, and I think this horse is far too short in the betting. This horse as well is a strong stayer at the trip, and I think with quite a few of these maybe needing the run or not proven quite at the trip, you want a Dow stayer, and Pierre-Charles Bordeaux has been the man in form at the moment. A 10-1, I think it's a cracking each way bet, and for me, I would see it hard for him to be out of the frame. So if you can get the 10-1 still at the current time of recording, I think he's a good each way bet. So that's my 3 best bets for the racing in France tomorrow. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate all the new subscribers we've had recently, even though it has been a bit tough until today where we finally had a 10-1 winner. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also follow me on Twitter as well, using my handle at LuckyLoaders15. Also feel free to check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. Also as well, I'm uploading a brand new podcast tomorrow, and that will be previewing my thoughts for the Guineas, the Derby, the Oaks, all the classic picture coming up if it does go ahead in June with UK racing. So stay tuned for that, and you'll follow the links to it on my Twitter feed. So that's all I got to say about that. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.